Bridges for the Deaf and Hard of Hearing. We're very excited. We have a lot of our campers from Camp Sign Me Up with us, and our staff and some members of the Deaf and Hard of Hearing community are with us. And we have a very special guest here in the purple hat. This is Mr. John Forbes. Mr. Forbes is a member of the Board of Directors for Bridges of the Deaf and Hard of Hearing. He's rolling off after serving for 6 years. But he's also the president of the Tennessee Organization for the Deafblind. And Mr. Forbes is deafblind, and so you see his interpreter sitting with him. Her name is Carly, and she is doing what is known as tactile interpreting. Many of you saw this last week with a very special guest we had named Ashley Jackson. Who all was here for that? Raise your hands. Yes. So Ms. Jackson's also deafblind, and you got to see how she communicates using tactile interpreting. So you're seeing that again today, or some of you for the first time. And then to their right is Beth, who is our interpreter for the deaf community. So you're getting to see a lot of different versions of sign language this morning. But we are gathering this morning to celebrate National Deafblind Awareness Week. Today is actually the birthday of Helen Keller. How many people know who Helen Keller is? So Helen Keller was born in the year 1880. She would have been 137 years old today. She was deafblind at a time when there was almost no education and there were no resources available to the deafblind community. And for many years, people encouraged her family to send her away to live out her life in an institution where she would have had no communication and no family relationships. But her family did not give up, and they kept searching until eventually they met a teacher named Anne Sullivan. And Anne Sullivan came to live with the Keller family, and she taught Helen Keller American Sign Language using tactile interpreting and experiences, and then she taught her how to vocalize. Helen Keller went on to learn as many as 8 languages, to complete her doctorate at university, to travel the world, to be an educator and advocate for the deaf, blind, the deaf and blind communities. And she helped co-found many of the organizations that educate and protect our civil rights today. So she was an extraordinary woman. And had it not been for her access to language, all of that intelligence and passion and compassion would have been locked away from us forever. And so we celebrate that members of the deaf and deaf-blind communities are no longer trapped without communication, but are seen as valuable and equal members of our society. So we are going to read a very special proclamation that John and the Tennessee Organization for the Deaf-Blind have had our governor, Bill Haslam, sign for us. A proclamation on behalf of the people of the state of Tennessee by His Honor the Governor, William Haslam, to publicly recognize Helen Keller Deaf-Blind Awareness Week. Whereas Helen Keller was one of the most accomplished, respected, and renowned Americans who was deafblind. And whereas approximately 2.4 million people in the United States have a combined hearing and vision loss. And whereas it is in the interest of the state of Tennessee to encourage the full participation of Americans with multisensory disabilities in our economy by fostering the employment of and promoting of housing and recreational options for people who are deafblind, thus maximizing their opportunities for a productive life in the community of their choice. And whereas today, people who are deafblind attend college, participate in social activities, manage their everyday lives, and actively engage in their communities through employment and civic activities. And whereas the Helen Keller National Center for Deafblind Youth and Adults was established by a unanimous act of Congress 50 years ago, and whereas it is appropriate and necessary to promote the abilities and potential of our fellow citizens who are deafblind or severely hearing or vision impaired, and to recognize Helen Keller as a guiding example of courage, hope, determination, and achievement for other individuals who are deafblind. Now therefore, I, Governor William Haslam of the state of Tennessee, do hereby proclaim June 25th, through July 1st, 2017 to be Helen Keller Deaf Blind Awareness Week. Yay! Alright, so in addition to it being the 50th anniversary of the establishment of the Helen Keller Center, this year, 2017, is the 90th anniversary of Bridges for the Deaf and Hard of Hearing. And we work with the deaf community, the hard of hearing community, the deaf-blind community, and the hearing community, doing many, many things, including this camp that most of you are here for this week. So we have a very special announcement in conjunction with Lipscomb University's Department of Theater, that today we are announcing that on September 23rd, there will be a very special performance of The Miracle Worker, which is a play based on the life of Helen Keller. The play will take place at 7:30 p.m. that night, and it will be shadow interpreted, meaning for every actor on stage, there will be an interpreter directly with that actor, also performing the play so that it is fully accessible to the deaf community. Prior to that, we will host a special dinner and a panel on the history of the deaf and deaf-blind communities in America, how it looked when Helen Keller was alive, and how it has changed today, and what work there is still to do. So we are grateful for this collaboration and partnership with Lipscomb University, with the Tennessee Organization for the Deaf-Blind, and with all of you who support Bridges for the Deaf and Hard of Hearing. Have a great day and a great week, and remember to thank Helen Keller because she did something great for you.